What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today is Wednesday, November 12th, and we are continuing on with our discussion around commitment issues. And with that, the topic that we're going to talk about today around commitment issues is lack of emotional intelligence. So sometimes when we're in relationships, we're not sure how to respond. Right? We're not sure how to say something, the right way to say something, the right way to address a problem without creating further friction. So because of that ignorance in terms of how to relate to people in an emotionally intelligent way, we end up burning bridges. We end up making a problem worse instead of being able to repair it. It's funny, I was talking with a friend of mine the other day about another podcaster. It's called, it's like the Unlearned Wisdom podcast with Johnny Chang. And in one of the episodes, he talks about how the way he grew up, and there was a certain protocol that you had with people if you wanted to be respected. And then once he was no longer in that environment anymore, he was still responding based off those past triggers, right? He was still showing up in relationships with those same behavior patterns that felt like they had worked for him in the past, but were no longer relevant in his adult life, right? That were no longer relevant in the new relationship that he was building with Christ and the new person that he was becoming. So he had to relearn how to relate to other people. I don't know how many of you have felt like that in life, and I know I've felt like that sometimes myself, and it can be really challenging because you have behaviors that you have to unlearn and then relearn the more appropriate response in certain situations, and then sometimes you show up in a situation with an appropriate response and it's still not received well because the other person's response is still going to be based off of their own experience and the library, right, of knowledge that they have to work with. And some people are going to have a library or an arsenal, right, full of equipment or knowledge, tools that are at the 10th grade level, and some people are going to have equipment at like a professional expert level, and some people are going to meet you where you are and other people are not. They're going to be upset with you for not meeting them where they are. So it's an encouragement, try to meet people where they are in terms of emotional intelligence and to not hold that against them